Well, hello, my name is Adam Sergent, and I am the founder and president of Badimageproductions Incorporated. It's an independent production company committed to producing engaging films that entertain, educate, and inspire. I started Bad Image Productions back in 2018 with the sole intention of making feature films. Several years later, through a lot of hard work, I've got 2 feature films under my belt. My first feature film, The Devil's Instrument, is about a wealthy novelist trying to get out of a deal he made with the devil. It's a psychological thriller with elements of horror and comedy. Ultimately, it's a story about redemption and sacrifice, which indisputably proves that success of any kind will never be worth the price of your soul. Luckily, I had a lot of time to prepare for The Devil's Instrument, and I was more than happy to have that time. The more you prepare and the more time you spend in pre-production, the better. I believe the success of any film project is directly proportional to the amount of time spent in pre-production. And believe me, there's always plenty to do. Everything starts with the story and screenplay, of course. And from there you can break the script down, compile all of your lists, create your schedule and budget, and begin constructing your shot list. Then all that's left to do is get your equipment, get everybody together, and shoot your movie. I didn't have a lot of money for The Devil's Instrument, but one way I've found to keep your costs down on any production is to have fewer locations. The less time you spend traveling and moving things around, the more time you have to shoot and the sooner you'll be finished. This saves you time, which inevitably saves you money. So I decided to shoot the entire film in one location, and that one location would be the living room of my house. The film is essentially a long conversation between the devil and a guy trying to get out of a deal with him. So I tried to imagine the most interesting setting for something like that. I imagined that when the devil first approached this character and tried to make a deal with him, that he would have taken him to some big elaborate castle or a mansion in order to wine and dine him and essentially dazzle him with anything and everything. But now that the deal is done and the character wants a meeting with the devil in order to get out of a deal with him, well, the setting would be totally different. I imagine the devil, slightly annoyed, simply opening up some black void possibly between hell and the earth itself where they could have their meeting. And this idea is what really allowed me to proceed. I would shoot the film in my living room and I would just black everything out until all you have are these 2 characters sitting alone in this dark void. I took everything out of the living room and put it in my garage. I moved the couch, the tables, the chairs, anything else that might get in the way. I put up stands with these big black curtains and wrapped them around the entire living room. I then moved the table that was used in the film into the room along with 3 chairs and a rug, and that was our set. Even before all of this, I was thinking about lighting. I knew I wanted to have total control of the light on set, which meant that I didn't want any light spilling into the house from external sources like the sun, street lights, or even a vehicle's headlights. So I measured all of the windows downstairs. I taped together some black wrap that absorbs all light that comes into contact with it into these squares that were slightly larger than the windows themselves. Then I covered all the windows downstairs, and this really did the trick. There was absolutely no external light coming in. Even though we were on a tight budget, we still had some complex lighting setups. But for the most part, I was utilizing 2-point lighting with just a key and backlight to achieve this black void effect. I did all of the technical jobs for the film myself because I really enjoy every aspect of making a feature film. I love taking a script all the way through the entire processes of pre-production, production, and post-production. I truly enjoy taking all of those pieces of the puzzle that are accumulated during production and assembling them into something meaningful. I love taking that raw footage and making it look the way that I want it to look. I love assembling the entire soundscape of a picture. I just love that simple and satisfying act of creation. And there was certainly a lot of creating to do for my second feature, Darkness Hunting. This horror/comedy is about a small group of would-be ghost hunters who investigate a notoriously haunted location, only to unleash a terrifying darkness. To make matters worse, not everyone in the group is who they appear to be, and they just might need the assistance of a world-renowned medium if they wish to make it out alive. With this being my second film, I knew I wanted to go bigger. I wanted a larger cast, more locations, and a bigger story. With Darkness Hunting, I feel we accomplished that.
Hi, I can see it.
Just hold that. Cut. I did some rough sketches of some of the characters and props while I was writing the screenplay, just to help me visualize the characters to a greater extent and also to help me with prop design. This process really did allow me to bring these concepts to life, as you see here. I had a ton of footage to go through on this film as opposed to The Devil's Instrument, which meant working longer and harder in post-production to bring all of these different elements together into a final product. But it was more than worth the effort. As for what comes next, I'm currently writing 2 different screenplays, and once I finish those, I hope to start shooting sometime in the near future. Until then, take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.